Yo, what is good, everybody, and welcome to an episode of the International Degenerates Podcast. We've missed you guys. It's been a little while. We missed a few episodes, but don't worry, we're back with
I mean, it wouldn't be a DGen podcast if you didn't miss a couple episodes.
with my co-host Beauty Nightmares and our special guest today, Gaia Rain. How's it going, Gaia? Thank you for being here. Welcome in. Appreciate
Thank
you.
you for having
Sorry, I just got sorting a couple things out there. How are you doing, though, Gaia? Welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you, Cap. Thank you for having me. It's good to be here.
Yeah, it's good to have you on. I know that you wanted to get on for a little while. And welcome in everyone in the chat as well. Thank you for being here, guys. If you guys have any questions for Gaia, make sure you or me and Beauty, you can ask us anything. Do let us know. We're gonna be getting into Gaia first though. Wait for the 3 Street Street. Let's go.
It's gonna be a deep dive.
Getting into Gaia.
Is that funny? Is it?
A little bit.
Why did you call yourself Gaia?
Oh, that's a story. So we lived in a pagan sanctuary for a little while. It was like a resort type place, and I was fairly new into my journey into this side of spirituality. And if you know anything about pagan traditions, sometimes we choose a name outside of the one that we were given at birth. So Gaia is the earth, Mother Earth, and I was always seen as like the mothering, nurturing one of the group, and Rain is nourishing and cleansing, and that's been me my entire life, has been like the mothering, cleansing, nourishing one, trying to just help people get through life at the same time trying to learn to navigate myself. So Gaia Rain, that's how I got my name. That was my chosen name.
Nice.
What type of paganism do you practice? Like, what are your identifying gods or goddesses that you follow?
So I am an agnostic pagan, which means I don't necessarily follow deities. It's more of a spiritual, energetic practice, but I'm very eclectic in any traditions that I follow, mostly Celtic.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. It's so like interesting how paganism is different for everybody. Cause I'm a pagan too, so
yeah.
But I follow like deities, more or less, and multiple gods in an approach. So it's always cool to see the different approaches people take with their practice. Have you ever like in my experience, have you ever like gone from like practicing to non-practicing, like the eternal switch of like, okay, I'm non-practicing right now. And then you go to practicing, and you're like, yeah, I'm practicing right now.
So to me, everything every day can be implemented into your practice. From making a cup of tea and stirring it and putting your intention into it, that's practice to me. So do I do rituals and spells all the time? No, I'll go through dry spells where I'm not doing that stuff all the time. But everything every day to me can be implemented with intention and make that part of your practice. It's just living with intention every day.
Yeah, I agree with that too. It resonates because I practice underneath Morrigan. I don't know if you're familiar with Morrigan, but I don't really talk much about her because it's like the darkest of darknesses if you were to pick a patron. But the movement of energy is interesting when you start doing it because it does come with sacrifice that people don't realize.
It does. Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, sure.
So I don't work with deities, but I do resonate with some. Hecate is one that I tend to resonate with. Hecate, yeah. And to me, it's mostly like ideals behind what they represent, less to be learned from those myths and stories.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm. And Hecate is a lot about balancing, the light and the dark and the positive and negative.
She's a badass.
Yeah.
My patron's like sovereignty and take everything for yourself and be an asshole, and I'm like, yeah, that works. y'all aren't familiar with Morgan, she's like a fae shapeshifter that like it's all about death, serenity, and empowerment, and like seer, like premonition, like seeing, clairvoyance. So very resonant. But yeah, hi guys, welcome into the stream.
So let's start from the beginning with Gaia. Who is Gaia Rain? Where did your journey begin?
My pagan journey, or me as a person?
As a human, your human journey.
As a human. Oh my God. Do you have? Oh. Well,
Of course, BB Nightmares would try and ask you about some witchy shit straight off the bat, but I just like let's get back to basics here. Let's find out who we've actually got on the show before we.
Okay. So you guys, if you guys have tuned in or seen me chatting, you guys might have seen me refer to myself as a bona fide hillbilly. I'm not joking when I say that. I was born deep in the woods of the Mark Twain Forest in southern Missouri in the United States. And my parents and my grandparents were bona fide hillbillies from the hills. So I grew up just running free in the woods and swimming naked in the rivers like a little wild feral child. And like my love of herbalism and things came from that upbringing, because my family was very poor. We grew up with nothing but each other and like just the bare necessities, and sometimes we didn't even have that. So we relied on going out into the woods and into nature and finding our food, whether it was hunting animals or foraging plants. So that's where I have this love of plants and the medicinal values and things of those that comes from my childhood, being reliant on them and knowing what they can do for us. I grew up with my parents, my mom and my dad. My dad was quite a bit older than my mom. There were 22 years between them. He was 45 when I was born. He had three other daughters before me with other women. But with my mom, he settled down with her. He was wild back in the day. But he settled down with my mom and had 3 daughters. I'm the oldest of those 3. Then I have 2 younger sisters. And we all grew up like I said, we had nothing but one another. So our family was always very close.
6 girls.
6
That's
girls.
a lot of women.
Damn.
That's a lot of women.
And possibly one boy, but we're not sure.
Possibly. Oh, okay.
we don't talk about that one, but yeah, it's a possibility. But yeah. And only one of the older siblings did we actually like hang out with when we were kids. She would come and visit in the summer and stuff. And her name was LaDonna. My younger sisters, their names are Janie and Rachel. Both blonde hair, blue eyed. I was the only one that came out with dark hair and dark eyes.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, we were very close. We've lost both of our parents. My dad we lost about 15 years ago, and my mom about 10 years ago. But my sisters and I are still very close. We still hang out as much as we can. My baby sister calls me at least every day, every other day. And then at 18, I graduated high school, and then that summer I met my husband, my now husband.
When you was 18? Oh, wow.
I was 17 when I met him.
Oh, wow.
And we started dating the day after my 18th birthday. And then 7 months later, we got married.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And
how long have you been together for?
We've been married for 30 years.
Wow. True love. Holy shit.
Yeah.
You're like Kip.
Yep. 30 years.
That's that real love. That's that true love shit.
It is.
Holy shit.
It is. And listen, true love and like unconditional love, we've been through our share of shit. Like we had a separation in between all of this. But if it's real and if you really truly love one another and you're both willing to do the work, it can work out.
Can you describe what good relationship communication is like for you?
So It's a lot of it is trust. You have to be able to trust one another with whatever is on your mind, whatever, like if say I'm doing something that he's not okay with, he has to be able to trust me to be able to hear that and not react negatively and not take it personally and not try to respond in a way that's, which is really hard for me because I'm a fucking Virgo. And
Yo, big up to that.
so, and that's what it is. It's about being able to trust one another to be like, hey, I don't like what you're doing, or I wish you wouldn't do this, and trust that that person's going to be able to take that and not turn it back on you. You know what I mean? And honesty, and being able to be open about things like that. Like, we have two boys, Caleb and Clover. Caleb just turned 26 today. Today's his birthday. And Clover will be 21 in December. And we also raised them to have the same kind of honesty, values, and be open about everything that me and Anthony have. And a lot of people get kind of weirded out by that because my boys are not afraid to come to me with any questions and ask me anything. You know, we talk about anything. So that, as far as having a good, healthy relationship with whether it's your spouse or your kids or your whatever, it's all about being open and honest, and that communication line has to stay open.
Nice. That was a really good, well thought out answer to that question.
I'm fine with that. I fuck with it.
So when did you start playing games? Video games, Gaia? And how did that first tie into your life?
When we were kids, we were gifted with an Atari system by my grandmother.
Good old Atari.
And yeah, so that was the beginning, and I fucking loved it. I played it all the time. When I was home from school, I was on the Atari after Saturday morning cartoons. And then one of my friends in school, her mom had bought her a Nintendo, the original Nintendo Entertainment System. And she got bored with it, and she'd never played an Atari, so she asked if we would be willing to trade our Atari for the Nintendo. I'm like, fuck yeah. So we did. That's how we ended up with Nintendo. So it was Nintendo for years. We played Nintendo. I've been through all of the Nintendo systems, played all of the games, Mario, all the Mario games, the Legend of Zelda games, anything that I could get my hands on. And a lot of times it was gifted because, like I said, we grew up poor. Anything like that we got, it was gifted by family members. We didn't buy that shit. And then got into PlayStation later on in years. But yeah, I've been a game player since I was a kid with an Atari.
Pong was the thing.
Oh yeah, nice. So you recently got your first gaming PC, right?
Yeah, end of 2024, I got this one. Yeah.
Did you have a gaming PC before that, or was that your first one?
I had a gaming laptop.
Oh, okay. So you had the opportunity to play like PC games on the gaming laptop, I guess. So you wasn't fully new to it, but yeah, I'm sure it was still like quite a change.
A laptop is kind of like the training wheels to the rig.
Right. Yeah.
And how did you discover like streaming?
So I've been on Twitch for a while. I just never streamed on Twitch. I had been contemplating it for years.
Oh, okay.
I was on it under a different name for, a while. Probably, I would say I've been on for at least 6 or 7 years. Huh. And then, oh my gosh, there's so much to tell on how I got into this. So, I had my witchy shop before. I've talked about this before. And with all the shit that went down with my previous landlord having to close my shop and I lost that income. And I lost that drive. I lost my purpose. So I was just looking for something to do. I knew I couldn't open a shop here because we had to move to a smaller place. That's a whole other story. So my friend Trixie Little Pixie and I were talking about this because she was going through some stuff at the time too. And I mentioned, I'm like, I'm on Twitch. People make money streaming. Maybe we should give that a try. And I'm like, fuck it. Let's give it a try. So that's it. It was pretty much losing my business and needing something to work on and to fill my days and my time that could possibly be lucrative. That's how I got started.
And have you managed to like incorporate any of your old business into your new venture?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do. So I have added some of my my stuff that I make, my handmade bath and body stuff, and some of my incense and stuff. I have put that into my merch store that I added on. Yeah, and I do tarot readings, and I do 1 card pulls for free during my stream. But then anybody can always ask for a full reading, a paid reading. So yeah, I'm incorporating it as I'm doing it a little bit at a time because you know, Cap, the last year has been kind of a traumatic process for me. So I'm trying to ease back into things a little at a time. Right now, I'm just looking for community and fun and bringing things in a little at a time.
Was your witch shop a brick and mortar? Did you have an entire storefront or?
So I did. When I started, it was a brick and mortar building in town. And then we moved into a bigger home that had plenty of space for me to move my shop into my basement, into my home. It was a finished basement. It was perfect. And we had more space in my basement than I did in the little shop that I was in. Gotcha. And then I got rid of all that overhead. But yeah, so yeah, people just came to shop at my house. They came down into my basement and shop.
Come into my witchy basement. I promise nothing strange hides for you down there.
You had your own den. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. I did. I loved it.
And look at my wares,
so much.
Peddler. Would you ever reopen?
In time, I would like to.
Gotcha.
I would like to. We just got to get established. We got knocked down a few notches.
Okay.
But
can't rebuild.
But yeah.
Yeah, because you recently moved to where you're living now, right?
A couple months ago, yeah.
Is that close to where you used to live, or did you move states?
Oh no, we're only like 5 minutes.
Oh,
6
okay.
minutes from where we used to live. Yeah, it wasn't a big move.
Nice. So how do you feel like the witchy side of things has been like accepted into the Twitch world and the streaming world and stuff like that? Do you think people like it?
I haven't had anybody dislike it.
I think it's a hit or miss.
Yeah, I think it can be like I haven't had anybody come into my stream and troll me like at all, really. Other than the bots, I haven't been trolled, and I didn't really get trolled about it. Now, when I had my shop open, nobody said anything to my face, but I know people were talking because one of my friends that goes to church here in town, their pastor actually had a sermon about the new witch shop in town and keep your kids away.
Really? That's a flattering.
That's funny, yeah.
Right there.
Right? Yeah.
Like that, everybody just learned about your business in one
right,
single...
and that's what I said. I said if there's any young people sitting in there that they're just going there to make their parents happy, they just found out that there's a place they can go and get crystals and stuff in town.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
Because I was the first and only one of its kind here.
When did you realize
the kids are buying crystal off the witch in town? Oh no.
What was your question, Beauty?
When did you realize you had the gift?
So I've always known this is gonna be another kind of a long story. Like I told you, when we were kids living out in the woods, we were feral fae children just running around in the forest, in the rivers. Like we would sit with old pots and throw things in them, and we were making witches' brews as children. So,
okay, gotcha.
So then, when we got older, my parents did the thing where they're like, "Oh, we should probably send them to church, so we're good parents." And so they did. They sent us to church with our babysitter, our neighbor, which was a Pentecostal church.
Oh God, I was raised Pentecostal. That's a whole
so was
bag
I.
Of chips. It's a cult, bro. It's a cult.
That shit damaged me.
Oh yeah,
damaged
they
me.
Treat women like shit. It's a cult.
And any of that magical aura that I had as a child was drilled out of me, or repressed. It was always there, but it was repressed. I was made to be ashamed of it, made to be scared of it, made to think that any of that stuff that I had inside of me was going to send me to hell.
Mm-hmm.
And that it was sinful. And so for years,
Sinner,
from the time I was
burn the witch.
Pentecostal, like,
and
you're
I
a
was
woman, all you're meant to do is breathe, and you can't
and clean
wear, like,
and cook.
Yeah, like you have no.
And have babies, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And like you can't wear like anything. You can't wear
Back to the
skirts,
kitchen
like,
for breeding. No.
like I remember when I went, like all the women were supposed to wear like neck high dresses. Like I literally like fought my dad tooth and nail never to go to church again after that. I was like, no, not happening.
Yeah. No, on my end of things, I actually
Nice
was
sucking lips got me horny as fuck. What the fuck? Hey yo. It was Maniac Fog. He said I got nice dick sucking lips. Do I suck your dick good?
How do you know they're talking about you? There's two other people on your screen right now. In fact, there's 3 other people on your screen right now. It could be.
Oh wait, it might be Cap actually.
It might be Gaia. It might be me. It might be David.
not me. Gaia doesn't have lips.
Oh wait, it's you. They're talking about you.
Me?
You.
I just joined. Is it because I got a gap?
I don't know.
Pretty sure talking about cat.
Yeah, what's up, Gothy? Welcome in, guys. Thank you for hanging out for the podcast.
Oh no.
We have our
you.
DJ Cam
Oh,
cameo.
That's what I said. I like
Our
how people
weekly
come to
DJ
Twitch
Cam
and
cameo.
record OnlyFans and know that.
Why do I always get the dudes that want to fuck?
I don't know. Everyone's horny on the internet.
Red hair lady.
Oh no. It's Belly Button Guy all over again.
Yeah.
God fucking damn it.
Mr. Susan, hey, what's going on? Yeah, I've been busy. Well, yeah, I like how I'm totally like slut shaming my platform on duties. So I'm
Okay, so what was the question?
I forgot what we were talking about, to be honest.
I was talking about being raised Christian. Oh, when did I figure out when I had my gift? Okay, so from then I grew up when I was devout.
Oh, buddy Christ.
I was devout in the Christian faith. I followed it pretty much by the book until I met my husband. And then things started to look different and feel different. And I started questioning things. But I never left the faith until I had my second son, and he was probably a year old. And I had just gotten to the point where I was like, I can't stand behind this anymore. I saw it for what it was. And when I let that go and I left the church, I was still, that stuff, I was brainwashed. I was literally brainwashed. And so the deconstruction was extremely hard. I felt lost. I had no spiritual connection to anything anymore. And so then I started like looking into different areas of spirituality, and this just felt like home. It felt like going back to what I was as a child. And so that's how I came back to my roots. I never lost them. I just came back.
Oh.
My question to you is, like, now that you've I know, like, for me, I'm a good example of that. You go through Christianity or Pentecostalism or whatever, and you go to a secular God, right? A singular God, and then you go back to spirituality. Do you ever feel like you kind of have, like, a better understanding of your paganism due to the separation? And I feel like in my experience, that really helped me in a way, because, like, I did go through, back when I was in high school, I did go to Christianity again. And I didn't get the answers I needed, obviously, and then I went back to paganism the second time, and I've been there ever since. But
Paganism?
I feel like I've learned. Huh?
Paganism?
Paganism. Fuck you, bro. I have an accent. I'm gonna stab you in the balls.
I mean, I've not heard of that religion before, but I can imagine what the rituals consist of.
I don't mean it like
So
that.
I get really into wanting to know history about things. So I got really deep into finding out the history of Christianity and how it got its hold, and what happened to the pagans throughout Christianity's fucking crusades, and then I think I'm well versed in scripture. So when it comes to me trying to bridge a gap between Christians and pagans, like, there are Christians who are curious. Not all Christians are like, oh, fuck those pagans. So being familiar with scripture and having this new spiritual awareness helps me bridge gaps between people who just don't know because they were taught the same thing that I was. So I think that is beneficial in that way.
I agree with you. Definitely. Oh. Sorry, I'm stimming.
Oh my
so,
god! I don't even know Beanbart. Hey Zar, welcome
Gaia,
in.
how do you feel about pegging?
Hi, Ambazar.
Yeah, how do witches feel
Gaia,
about
how do you
paganism?
feel about
Pegging.
How do you feel about pegging? Pegging. Would you be a peggy or a pegger? I'm just digging into it. Why not? Okay, cool. You're a lover and a pegger. I like it. What would be his daily inspiration message? Oh no. This chat is just going so south with my people in here. I am so sorry for my community, guys. They're a bunch of degenerates. Fucking all of them are just like, yeah, pegging.
Ambazar is like,
yes.
Ambazar's like, I'm down. She's like, I'll do what it takes.
What I'm doing.
So, all right, since we're talking about kinks, like, what kind of lover are you, Gaia? Like, are you like a switch? Are you a dom? Like
I'm a switch.
What? You're a switch?
I'm a switch.
Cool. Me
Mhm.
too. I'm a huge switch as well.
So, I am being a Virgo. I'm very dominant in every aspect of our lives. Like, I take the lead role in a lot. It's just part of my nature and my control issues. So, typically in the bedroom, I do prefer to be submissive. I prefer because I'm dominant everywhere else. Like, everything is my decision. So behind the bedroom door, I do prefer to be submissive.
Sub switch, let's go. All right, cool. Yeah. Buddy Christ said he's a dom leaning switch. How about you, Cap? Are you a dom or are you a sub?
Burn the switch.
No.
You've seen my BDSM test results.
Oh, but the public.
I haven't seen them, Cap.
Well,
guess I joined at the right time, Lung Puncher.
I can't remember exactly, but I'm like 90% dom, and I think the first time I took the test I was like 100%, and then there were some interesting things in there that I didn't really know about myself, like thank you for the bitty, Minty. Apparently I'm a voyeur. Something I didn't know about myself. There's like a bunch of other stuff in there, but yeah, it was all like, I think I was like 0% like age player, 0% like I'd have to pull it up, but yeah. Doing the BDSM test actually taught me a few things about myself that I didn't actually fully know or understand, so I highly recommend taking it.
Can we throw a link in there for it so people can take it if they want?
Yeah, sure.
So my top two were 100% submissive, number 1, and brat, number 2.
Really? Huh.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what mine were, to be honest.
All of us learning about our kinks. All of our kinks being learned from that stupid test.
So good though. It's very informative.
It is.
Yeah, I'll have to find my results later, but they are in the Discord. If you guys actually are genuinely curious, you can find the results in the Discord. They're in there.
I'll have to post mine in there too.
Dirty boy.
But yeah, I mean, to be honest, I like being in charge, you know. Like, I don't mind having a break every now and then, but, you know, I feel like I get the job done, you know. I know what I'm doing, and I get the job done.
He's like, I take care of the shop.
The other parts I learned about myself on archive of our own raw dog or org dog. Wait, wait.
Raw dog, org dog, what?
Tribe of our own .org.
For Gaia, don't be shy. You can ask us questions.
Yeah,
too.
say hi to Gaia. Thank you, Minty. I appreciate that as well.
Like half this podcast is based off the chat, so give us questions. Like the door is open, and we.
I'm mostly an open book. Don't be afraid to ask. I'll answer just about anything.
I mean, I just asked her if she liked pegging, so I mean, it can't get any worse than that. Then.
Yes, it can. Shush.
Oh, okay.
Please tell us in detail about your first pegging experience. I'm just kidding. Imagine.
No. No.
So, what's your favorite RPG? Oh god.
Smut Simulator 2025 coming to you soon. Hey, yo, Keem. Oh.
So, how would you describe your journey as a content creator so far? And how long has it been since your first stream?
Creator?
Yeah, or first.
Oh, my first stream here was in March.
Was you doing a different platform before Twitch?
I would stream from time to time on Facebook, and I did a few live streams on TikTok. Facebook, and it was mostly for my business. I would stream, like spells and like promos for my products and stuff, but nothing like I've never done like gameplay or anything streaming. That was done here for the first time.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
But yeah, and I love it. I absolutely love it because it's a way for me to meet so many different people from all over the world.
Yeah, you're still a baby streamer, really, aren't you?
I am. And it happened, like, my growth happened faster than I expected because I had people like you and AI Soothsayer and Fungusi and people that, like, kind of took me under their wing and said, here, let's help her grow. And I was like, it was kind of a whirlwind, but it was good and I enjoy it. I've met a lot of good people. So, yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm thinking of first Gaia of what, but never mind. We meant Twitch.
Yeah, I think the best part about Twitch is you meet so many people. Like you meet like all these. Are you swimming like, dude? My ADHD is so bad right now. I can't control it, and I have the zoomies, and I need to run, and I can't. So this is the result. I need to go on walkies really
Can you
bad.
put your energy into the podcast?
Yes, I am.
Rather than stimming.
I don't know what else to do with myself. I feel like Gaia is awesome, and I want to know like more, but I don't know what to ask because my brain is running in circles. So this is the result.
So when was the first time you ever had an alcoholic beverage, Gaia?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. And what's your favorite type of alcohol?
Okay, first time having an alcoholic beverage. I was not 21 yet. I was with my husband, and we had gone to a bar. And
sorry, one sec. Can I just cut in real quick? I still think every time anyone ever says it, I still think it's so hilarious that there's like 21-year-olds in America having their first ever alcohol experience. And like by the time I was like 12, I'd done so much drinking that I like had almost completely lost interest in it. Like it's just so funny. It's just so funny how the cultures are different like that with America, like and in the UK.
If you want to know the first time I actually took a drink of alcohol, it was New Year's Eve. I was probably around 14 or 15, and my mom and dad gave me a small little cup of like homemade grape wine.
I don't even want to tell you guys when was the first time I got drunk.
But the first time I had an actual mixed drink was I was 18, and I went to a bar with my husband, and we were there with a woman that was
crazy.
Old enough to
married.
alcohol.
You was married, and you still couldn't drink for 3 more years. Like that is insane. Like this is America.
And this lady ordered me a kamikaze, which is a pretty strong drink over here. I don't know if you guys have that. I don't even know what's in it, but it was fucking strong. But anyway, I'm like, no, I can't have that. I'm not old enough, and I don't have my ID on me. And she's like, "Oh, they'll let you have it. You look old enough."
No, now you know. You just got hooked up.
Oh my god! So the waitress comes over. She orders the kamikaze, and she asks for my ID, and I'm like, "I don't have it. Just bring me a Pepsi." And this lady's like, "Come on, bring her a drink." And so she sent me to the bartender, and let the bartender look at me to see if they thought I looked old enough to drink. And he said, "Yeah, she's good." And they served it to me. That doesn't happen anymore. That was years ago. That was 30 years ago. That they don't do that shit anymore. But yeah, that was the first time, and I got drunk off that one drink. It was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
The first time I ever got drunk, I was like 12, 14, and I was playing 21 blackjack with my mom. And every time I won, I got alcohol from my mom.
I was 6. I was 6.
What?
It was.
Oh my god!
It was the millennium, the year 2000, and I was at. I don't know where the party was. My parents had taken me to a party. There was lots of kids there, but there was lots of adults there. Obviously, it was in some kind of function hall or room or something. There was a bar. There was like multiple bars. I remember there was a bar. I remember it very clearly. But I basically like went round and like mind swept drinks. I was just picking up people's drinks, like, because there was just alcoholic drinks left everywhere, you know, and I got really, and I got really, really drunk. I don't even think my parents realized I just fell asleep across 3 chairs. You know, I remember laying across 3 chairs, like, and not feeling great. But I'm guessing my parents must have just thought that I was tired or something because they'd been getting on a bit. But yeah, that was my first ever experience getting drunk. Was at the millennium, the year 2000, when I was 6 years old.
Talking about age and alcohol, like the age regulations, back like 10 years ago, it used to be 18 for cigarettes and 21 for alcohol. Now it's like 21 for cigarettes and alcohol here in the United States.
You guys want to know something fun though? I still get carded.
I don't.
I'm 48. I'm 48, and I still get carded. So that's kind of cool.
Oh, you're a vampire. Yeah, same, buddy, Chris. I really believe if you're able to die for your country, you should be able to have alcohol as well. Right. Yeah.
Well, in the UK, you could join the army when you're 16, I think. Well, actually, no, they must have changed that now, because a couple years ago, they actually changed the law. Now you have to stay in education until you're 18. But they only changed that a couple of years ago. I left school at 16, and I didn't go to college or sixth form or any further education after high school. So, but now, you wouldn't be able to do that. You legally have to attend school until you're 18 now in the UK. So, I'm guessing because of that, now you can't join the army when you're 16. I'm guessing you have to have finished school, you know, and be 18. But, you know, before it was just once you was out of high school, you could go and join the army.
Huh.
First time Zara was ever drunk, her and her brother snuck drinks that people at the party would leave around the bonfire and whatnot. And I remember at one point, I think my brother drank so much, he nearly fell into the bonfire. And I was 8 or 9. Oh, wow.
Adamy said he stole shots from his granny.
I think a lot of people's first alcohol experiences or first drunk experiences was on, like, repossessed liquor.
I feel like it's secondhand liquor that young people get a lot of the time. I would steal it from my mom's fucking, I would just steal it from the fridge once I figured out what it was. Remember, it's good old Boone's Farm wine.
That is true, Godspeed.
Oh,
that's something that I believe I'm very opposed to is obligatory military service, you know, being drafted into the army and having to do a certain amount of time in the army.
Same.
If it was just like public service and it was a blanket and you could do healthcare, you could be a policeman, a fireman, a traffic warden, any kind of like public, I would be way more for that than just like. But in those countries, none of that matters. Is you've got to go and serve 2 years in our army, you know, like, and then you can go and be an adult or whatever. Then you can go and like carry on with the rest of your life. It's like,
I believe in Norway, it's like that.
It's not just Israel. There's a lot of countries. Godspeed. Yeah. There's a lot of Turkey is another one.
South Korea.
Country where you have to join the military, but you have a lot of options to choose from. In Norway, but I think it's only Norway.
I don't know about that. I don't think any Scandinavian countries have a draft because the whole of Scandinavia is like all got mad infrastructure and shit. They've got like the best welfare systems and the best healthcare systems and the best education systems in the world.
Yeah, I know South Korea, it's not like that. They don't get an umbrella. They don't get like to choose unless. So you guys know I'm a fan of BTS, right? They're South Korean. They had to do their military service. They just got out early this year. All of them just came back from their 2 years. Suga had a shoulder injury, so he couldn't go into regular military service. So they put him in social service. And he had to do actual 24 months instead of the 18 that the rest of them had to do because he wasn't in active military service. So they do have options for people who have sustained injury and can't do all the rigorous techniques or whatever, the maneuvers. They put them in social welfare.
That's bad. So I've just looked this up, and in Denmark, you have to do 4 to 11 months, and that's only just started on the 1st of July this year. Once you're over 18, for any physically fit men and women, you have to do between 4 and 11 months of military service. In Finland, you have to do 6, 9, or 12-month conscription. And it says all men over 18 are liable to serve, but not everyone is made to. In Norway, has a universal conscription, which has been going for 10 years, including both men and women, and service duration between 6 and 18 months. And in Sweden, conscripts are chosen from a pool. It's literally, they pull names out of a hat. And the service is 9... Yeah, like the Hunger Games. Service is 9 to 12 months. So yeah, there's actually 4 Scandinavian countries that have that. Yeah. That's really surprising to me because, you know, everything else that I've ever learned about Scandinavian countries and their governments, their policies, their like the way the country runs, it's all like very advanced and like progressive, and this seems like kind of not, but I don't know. BTS boys got drafted into the army. That's mad. Yeah,
I don't know.
That's what I was just talking about. Suga is one of the members of BTS with the shoulder injury. Did social service for his. The others were put into active military.
Before I was drafted, so I would have been in the
military. You're 75% Sweden. Do you mean you're 75% Swedish?
You know,
I'm 75% Sweden, yeah. Only one quarter of the country belongs to everyone else.
You know, it's funny since I'm so active. Like I got the when I was like in my.
What country is that, Atomics?
Active and in shape. I had the military crawling up my ass to join them. It was hilarious. I don't know how they knew I was active. I don't know how they found me, but they wanted me really bad. I was like, no, bro, I'm good.
My husband tried to sign up for the military. I was not for it. I was against it. He tried, and when he went in for the preliminary testing and stuff, he's got a bad ear, and that they wouldn't take him. He was really upset about it, but I was not.
Like, that was a blessing in disguise. Thank God.
Right? Exactly. But that was years ago when we first got together.
Yeah. I can't believe you two have been together for 30 years. That's fucking crazy to me. I can't imagine being with somebody that long. That's like...
That's my life.
A quarter of your life. A quarter of your life. Fucking crazy, dude. Not in a bad way. I couldn't imagine, you know?
Yeah.
The military rejected, buddy. They rejected me too, buddy. They said you're too tall for your weight. Go gain a stone and come back. And then...
Are you serious?
Yeah. I wanted to become a weapons systems engineer. My plan was to do 2 years as a weapons systems engineer, then 2 years as an armorer in the British Armed Forces, and then I was gonna try and that would give me the qualifications that I would need to be a gunsmith, and I was gonna like move to America or Germany and be a gunsmith. That was like what I wanted to do when I was younger. And then my uncle was like, "Don't do that. be a mechanical commission engineer. I'll give you a job. And then I just kind of like that. I just fell into it, you know, and then that's kind of like, ended up doing that for 8 years. But there's no way. I'm glad I didn't join the army, you know. I only because I would have been sent to fight. I would have been sent to Iraq or Afghanistan like as soon as I finished training, you know. So like it's a good job that I didn't.
I think
because I might not even be here. And if I did join the army, I would be a completely different person now. I would not be me. I would be someone completely different, you know.
Yeah. If I joined, I don't think I'd be the same person either. And I know I since I am in good shape and I am strong, I would definitely be like.
That's by design. They don't want you to be the same person when you join.
Yeah.
They train you to be a killer.
Well, it depends what you're doing in the army, but yeah, like obviously like basic infantry, that's like, you know, the gist of it. But there's so much now, like there's a lot of technical jobs in the army. There's so much technology in military now. There's so many technical jobs and like advanced like technology and stuff. So, you know, and then I actually watched a documentary. I actually watched this documentary about this drone pilot that killed like hundreds of people, you know, for the US military. And he was like talking about his like experience of like, you know, basically like playing a video game, but these were like real people, you know, getting like blown up by the drones and stuff. And it's just like pretty crazy documentary that I watched. I can't remember what it was called, but he was a very interesting guy. He like served for like years and years, and he'd been doing this for years and years, and he was like opening up about it on a documentary. I would be more into men. Wait, what's that in regards to?
If you join the military. He's making a gay joke.
Oh right. Oh yeah. Then my life would be easy.
Wow, Cap.
Then I could just get with a bro and be with bro, and life would be easy.
You said if I was gay, I'd be happier probably. That's so fun. It's a shame you like pussy then, motherfucker.
It is. It's so complicated. So difficult.
He's like, it's so hard. Yo, when I was hanging out with Cap Guy, he would like fall on the floor. He's like, no one loves me. I was like, he's so.
Wait, what? When did that happen?
He would just like lay on the bed and be like, it's so hard to find love.
What? That never happened. Feel like you're just talking about something you imagined or like wanted to happen.
I'm a little delusional, but you're still silly like that. You're very slapstick. I'm tired. And I'm stimming. I'm sorry.
You don't have to keep apologizing. You're fine.
It's
if Cap doesn't like it, he can get over it.
If Russians, Ukrainians expand the war, I'll be forced to draft. Holy shit. I wonder if the United States ever did a draft, would they include women now?
Yes. They would.
Because that hasn't changed. I'm curious about
They don't care about... The government doesn't care if you're a man or a woman. They only care if you're poor or if you have money. I guarantee that if that ever does happen, there'll be a way to like buy your way out of it.
Just say you got bone spurs. Right, Ambazar? Listen, speaking of that, Ambazar, thank you. I want to bring something up here in Missouri. So this last election, why is my camera blurry? Give me a second. In this last election, our state had abortion rights on the ballot. And we voted overwhelmingly to preserve those. Like, it passed. And because we are a red state with a Republican a Republican lead.
Oh no.
They're trying to overturn that. They're putting it they are overturning that and putting it up for another vote, claiming that there was a problem with the voting system here, and that the vast majority of Missourians are not okay with that. So they're taking it. We voted overwhelmingly for it to pass, and they're overturning it and putting it up for vote again. As of right now, our Planned Parenthoods here in the state have been defunded. So they have what's left of their funds. They're really pushing to try to assist with all the reproductive health care for men and women. They're offering free vasectomies. They're offering free IUD replacements. They're offering tubals, and they're offering abortion services until their funding runs out. But if this goes up for a vote again and it doesn't pass, it's going to be illegal here. And so, like, it's, yeah.
Bunch of virgins. You know what's crazy? I've been following this, like, since they, like, repealed Roe versus Wade. It's been so interesting to look at maternity deaths. They've been skyrocketing.
Oh, so many.
Women have been dying during birth on the table insanely a lot because they can't, like, do anything about it. So, like, women in red states where, like, they're pregnant and they have a baby that's gonna kill them, they have to carry it to term or die. And some do die doing it. And it's crazy to me. It's, like, that blows my mind that, like, we've taken, like, that many steps back. Like,
and so many women and young girls having to give birth to incest babies, rapist babies. Like,
yeah, it's crazy, dude. I'm like, you know what?
And
time to go international.
Right. And I had a tubal after my second son. But that's been almost 21 years ago. And they say after about 10 years that there is a chance that things can, like, go back together and shit start working again. I'm absolutely terrified. I'm 48 years old. My youngest is 21 in December. I'm not having another baby.
No.
I would be one of those that jumped state lines. Illinois next door, I could go over there and get it done, you know? Yeah. But if they do what they want to do here in Missouri, we can be prosecuted for that. Like, we can be put in prison for going to another state if they find out.
Yeah. I mean, what people are doing now also is they're actually flying out of the country too.
Yeah.
People are, like, literally leaving the country and going to Mexico or Europe or any other developed country and just paying cash and getting it done.
Right, even China. China encourages abortion.
Yeah, I know. China's all about
go
it.
To China. China's like, come on, we got you.
Yeah, it's nuts to me. But and then it's another question of, like, an agenda, right? Mm-hmm. The fact that the United States population in 10 years is going to be half of what it was. Because
who wants to have children in this economy?
Instead of having, like, 6 kids like they did in the boomer era, they're coming down to, like, 1.5 children.
Oh, people are still doing that. People are still doing that. People are still having 6 kids or more, you know.
Yeah, but in our country, it's way less than it was.
Are you sure about that? Because there's a lot more people than there was 30 years ago. So even though there's less people with that mentality of, oh, well, let's keep having more and more kids, there's more people to have kids now. So
my dad's sister, my aunt, had 12 kids. Fucking 12.
And that's what I mean. So all of those people now have the opportunity to make children themselves. And even if they only have 1 each, that's still twice as many as the original people that those children came from. Do you see what I'm saying?
I feel like I'm doing my civic duty and not having children.
Sorry, that's not off the table. They're still trying to do that. And if they don't do it federally, they're going to do it state by state. Missouri is one of them. Trying to make the legal age of consent 14.
Oh, can we talk about child marriage? That's totally a legal thing in the United States, and it's terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's it happens over here gross. As well with the gypsies. The gypsies, they, like, marry their kids when they're, like, 13, 14.
Yeah,
and
if you're married, right, then age of consent doesn't matter. So, like, there's some states that allow, like, kids to get married at, like, 6. It's fucking nuts.
Yeah, that's seriously wrong. You know, like, that's like should not be allowed at all. You know, whoever's encouraging that needs looking up.
Yeah, it's disgusting. It's fucking nuts to me. It breaks my brain. I found out I listened to a documentary about it. And I'm like, it blew my mind because I didn't even mentally thought that existed because I was like, that is so like far-fetched, like no, just no.
Disgusting.
Yeah, so much questions. Not even questions, just burn in hell.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
Right? No questions. No questions. Just yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's a question of legality for me. Like, why would that? It shouldn't even be a thing in this country, but it is.
Who's
And
running our
it's
country?
allowed-
That's
Oh,
where you
well.
got to look at it.
Money.
I don't even
Old
think
ass fucking white white men.
I don't.
Disgusting creeps.
I question everything in my life.
Well, money, most of them are in my country and most of them are degenerates. Truth be told, I've got many hardworking friends in gypsy groups, but even them saying that mostly they just are, well, I'm talking about like Irish gypsies. That's what I'm talking about. So in England, we have a lot of Irish gypsies. People that have never been to Ireland in their life and they'll have the thickest Irish accent you have ever heard. And because they grew up on a campsite with only gypsies, you know, they live segregated from the rest of society. That's how they keep themselves, you know, and none of them pay tax and none of them contribute, and then they fly tip everywhere and they shit the place up. But that's not all of them. There are some nice gypsies, you know. There are some nice gypsies. But one thing that I can't get on board with the gypsies is the marrying of the kids. Like
That reminds me of
they do like arranged marriages of their children,
Mormons
you
are
know.
bad.
But it's not like they're marrying the young girls to like old men. They marry their kids, so they'll like marry a 13-year-old to a 14-year-old and things like that. So it's not as messed up as like marrying them to old men, but it's still like they're like people aren't ready for that at that age. You still have more things to do like before you should even think about you know,
Sounds like the Mormons.
settling down and having a family, you know. But yeah, like I don't know.
So
It's part of their culture. Like let me look it up a little bit.
Mormons do that with young women too. They like marry 19-year-olds to like 14-year-olds within like the same age bracket, but like prolonged bloodlines. It's fucking crazy, dude. Child brides are gross. I don't know. So much no.
I mean, now looking back, listen, I wouldn't change things if I had prior knowledge of what my life with my husband would be like. But at the end of the day, 18 was too young. 18 was too young to get married. And that we were both like, we hadn't been with anybody else. We were one another's first everything. So there was no experience. There was no life experience. We both grew up in the sticks, and like that, you know, things come up. Other people come into your circle, and things happen. And because of that lack of experience, I
have a hard question to ask you, Gaia. Do you think it's like what you're surrounded by and what you're like fostered around that made you make that decision at 18 to get married? Just by like the example of everybody else around you?
It was my religious beliefs. Okay. Because Anthony and I were so in love and so attracted to one another, we couldn't keep our hands off one another. And I was raised in the Christian faith.
Like it's a sin. We got to get married, so it's not a sin anymore.
Our first time, instead of being happy and exciting, I ended up crying, absolutely terrified because
you thought you was going to hell.
Go to hell.
Mm-hmm. Oh
so
God.
we decided to get married.
God, I'm so sorry.
So we got married so that it wouldn't be like that for us anymore. Dude, religious brainwashing will fuck you up in every way possible. Like it took away so many good experiences. Like I was made to feel guilty going to the movie theaters. I was made to feel guilty listening to rock and roll music. I was made to feel guilty for even the thoughts in my head. Like scared, the fear. And that's what prompted us to get married, because I didn't want to feel that fear about being able to express my love physically and intimately with my boyfriend, with the person that I knew I was going to be with for the rest of my life.
That's a big thing about mainstream religion that makes me be like almost against it in a way, because it does, it sets precedents for people and like says this is how you should live your life, and it puts people in fear and makes them like live their life in fear essentially, like make decisions thinking that they might get smited down or burn in the eternal fire, and like it's just like I don't know.
Religion is a form of control. That's what it is.
Well, yeah, it's a control system, and even though there are good teachings in Christianity and stuff, like the way that the Bible has been written is like a control system to me. Every lesson and teaching is some form of telling you like how you should be, and is very much directed to tell women what they should and shouldn't do as well, like most mainstream religions. And that's like another thing,
unless you read the actual teachings of Christ. Even in our versions of the Bible now, Christ's teachings are not like that. Those teachings, all those beliefs come from the Old Testament, like Leviticus and Deuteronomy. Christ's teachings were for everybody. Like, these people that claim to be Christ followers are not Christ followers. They're not. They can't call themselves Christians because they do not follow the words of Christ. And that's the whole thing about it. Like, if you actually read like the Beatitudes of Christ and his preaching on his Sermon on the Mount, and the things that he said about accepting foreigners as your own, loving one another, your neighbors, everybody. He didn't say love them if they're this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So even in the Bible, the actual red words that were supposed to be his teachings don't have all of that discrimination and separation and exclusion. It's the people. It's the people supposedly following and going off the Old Testament and all the old stuff from before Christ was even on the scene. But
there's also like
it gives people hope, life, something to live for and by. That can be true, buddy, but at the same time, like, people shouldn't need that. People should put their hope in themselves, in their family members, in their community, in progression, in my opinion, rather than Sky Daddy, because that ain't productive to me.
Daddy. You just Sky Daddy.
Well, listen, the reason why I refer to God as Sky Daddy is just it's a very minimal reality check to the religious people without being like that mean about it. Because
I like that though. I'm gonna start using that.
But like, it's very hard for me to talk about religion without coming across as like disrespectful or inconsiderate, because like it's hard for me to find the words and describe what I believe without sounding like I'm a complete ignorant dickhead basically. But
I'll sound like a complete doucher. I think organized religion is fucking dumb and it can go jump off a cliff. Dumb. I'll be the dude.
But I've spoken about this before, and that's why I've said like I don't believe I'll ever get married, because I'm not religious, and to me marriage is a religious thing, like
right now.
So
Luca
why
has answered more questions in my life than Christianity.
I feel like if I loved someone, that the power behind my love would be greater than that of any like label that could be given to it by anyone else, or that being a religion or government or anything like that. So that's why I don't believe in marriage, because I'm not religious. But I still I don't say like marriage is a bad thing at all. It's obviously like, I think the reason why it was very it's been pushed on to everyone so much, especially through religion, is because they was trying to populate. They was trying to get everyone paired off and having as many kids as possible to keep making people, to keep building cities and roads, and have workers for to build the world that we have today. And back in the day, people's life expectancy was 40. People didn't live that long, and by the time someone was in their 30s, they was almost spent. There wasn't dentistry, there wasn't healthcare, there wasn't all these things that keep people going for as long as we go for today. So I think that's why a lot of like mainstream religions especially was like tried to make people have as many kids as possible and pair people off like that, you know, because it was creating the workforce that they needed to, you know, build what they had to build, essentially. I know some people will disagree with me with that, but yeah.
You know, to bounce off that, since I've, like, the reason why I switched from Christianity to Wicca was actually because I got sexually assaulted. And the priest of my church told me it was destined to happen, and it was meant to happen by God. That was my reasoning for my assault, right? And, I ended up just disowning that completely, and, having a shell-shocked moment in deep depression, and then kind of just started, like, digging around in, like, a spiritual sense, and kind of, like, learned about, brujeria, which is, like, Puerto Rican, spirituality. Youth pastor? What the fuck?
Yeah, I know you was a youth pastor. I've seen the pictures, Godspeed. Godspeed was indoctrinated.
Oh yeah, I remember the yellow striped sweater.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
My husband and I were also youth pastors.
Really? No way.
5 years. And did you feel like it brought you closer to the God?
Sky Daddy?
Was it worth the time? Or because I know you're not particularly, I think you're still religious now, but you're not like, it's not something you like constantly go on about, do you know what I mean? So I don't even know, but yeah, what was your outcome from the experience?
The missions look cool. That's all I can say.
I mean, in our experience, as we were assistant youth pastors, and our good friends were the main youth pastors, but we were there every time the door was open. We were there as well. And I can say, even though now I don't agree with the religion and the teachings of it, for the most part, we were still a good positive influence on these kids.
Yeah.
Because my husband and I weren't the type to thump people with the Bible. You know what I mean? We were more on their level as like life things and like helping them get through bad home lives and things like that. And I would never tell a child that God wanted them to suffer. That was something that I was always against, you know. But we were good positive influences, and some of those kids still reach out to me today, even knowing that I'm not there anymore and not that person anymore. They still trust me enough to be like, hey, I'm going through this, could you give me some advice? And they're grown adults now, you know. So like, even though it happened through Christianity and in the church, it became something else. It was something more than just religious doctrine being shoved down these kids' throats, you know what I mean? That's not the case for everybody, but I'm just trying to say, you know, for like Godspeed here, right? Never been right. If you made a positive impact, then that means something, regardless of where it came from. Because I know in my time as a Christian, my intention and my heart was always in the right place. I did it because I loved people. I did it because I wanted the love of Christ to come through me and touch others. I was never doing it in a way that was trying to control them or trying to make them feel shame or guilt, even though that's what was done to me. I changed that in myself, even during that time, while I was struggling with all that shit myself still. But because of how it is affecting me, I didn't want to do that to others. So there was still positive impact, even though it was a religious thing. So it's not all bad.
Yeah, no, I agree. There's definitely good teachings within religion. It's just humans have it seems like humans have like bent it to the, you know, to work for them over you know, rewriting things. And over the years, my favorite teachings are actually from Hinduism. I actually love a lot of the Hindu stories, you know. I don't believe in Hinduism at all by any means, but I really enjoy the stories and the teachings from Hinduism. I think they're some of the best out there.
There's lessons there, whether or not you believe in the deities.
Yeah, definitely. So, and I feel like that's because they're like still the original stories for the most part. They haven't been like changed to the point where it's to like push an agenda. It's just like still carrying the original message of the story kind of thing, you know, like. My ex-wife left me and had an eye-opening experience with how people treat others who go through a divorce. I still believe in making a difference in each other, but not a fan of most organized church anymore. Oh, okay. Are you still religious, Godspeed? I know that Emily had some questions that she wanted to ask you about. I think she said that she was going to pop in, but she said she has some interesting questions to ask you about your witchy stuff.
Oh, okay.
All right, give me a sec, guys. I'm just going to use the facility.
My brain is like Jello. I need a nap.
My legs are beauty. I had to haunt this weekend, both Friday and Saturday. I am so tired.
Oh, did you do? Are you an actor for a haunt?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool. Did you have fun?
Oh yeah, it's always fun. I have a blast.
Yeah. How long you been doing that for?
8 years.
Wow, you part of the fam on that one. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a friend ask me yesterday if I wanted to go to like Penhurst, and I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna punch someone in the mouth. Yeah, anytime I go to those things, I'm prone to fucking hitting people. I still believe, yes, we'll watch selective sermons, but don't go to... Oh, so he's a digital worshiper. I'm like... yeah, I don't follow any Christian religion anymore. I don't even identify as Christian or Pentecostal.
No, I don't either.
My transition happened with Puerto Rican spiritualism that is connected to Christianity, and I kind of rabbit holed from there into what I believe in now, and that's just through practices and meditations and visions and everything else. But I don't really advertise that I'm witchy either, because like I just feel like it's a private thing for me personally. Like it's like my practice, it's my beliefs, and I don't really want to force my energy on people, because I really believe in that. Like when you open that door, you kind of grace people with your energy. And what I'm aligned with, I don't feel comfortable in sharing, if that makes sense. Like, my energy, I don't want to share with others in that kind of way, paranormally, or connecting. It's very rare that I will share my tarot cards. It's very rare I give readings. It's very rare I bother.
Yeah. I mean, we all have our own path. We all have our own purpose and path to follow.
Yeah, it is.
Mine...
shit, we're talking about paganism and witchcraft. Dick Shapendi, if I said that right.
But yeah, coming from the background that I did and not having anybody to really turn to or learn from, that gave me a purpose to share what I was learning and to help other people who might have been in my same situation and needed help with deconstructing and were looking for a new spiritual path. Because when you go from being so deep into into Christianity or whatever religion it happens to be, to suddenly like, I can't stand behind this anymore, I don't believe this anymore, you feel lost, like you're in a void.
Yeah.
You kind of need something. I needed something to fill that spiritual void that I was feeling. And I didn't have anybody that wasn't a Christian except for one person. And she was Wiccan. And we ended up becoming really good friends. And we became friends before I had left the faith. And I had this love-hate relationship with her because I was absolutely terrified to be her friend.
Really?
But yes, because I was told that, if you hang with the skunk, you get the smell. Like, they're going to drag you to hell with them. You can't be friends with these people. You can love them from a distance, but don't hang out with them.
They'll drag you to hell.
So I would ask her questions and she would answer me and I would just be like, oh God, that's not the answer I was looking for. But like eventually I just decided, I was like, okay, I'm going to look into this and see what fits and see where my spirituality is going from here. And then there were others like me. And that's other people who needed help, other people who might need candles and incense. They couldn't get them because those places here where I'm at in this conservative little town don't exist. So I opened the first shop. It was me. I did it. And And so many people that I knew in my everyday life and had no idea that they were on this path or seeking knowledge came to me. So like it was a beautiful thing. It still is. These people, like a lot of the people that have joined me here on Twitch, and they came from my following on Facebook and TikTok, and they're here with me now. So it's been a journey. It's been a beautiful journey, one that I don't regret, one that, you know, there's been hard times, there's been times my heart's been broken so many times by both Christians and pagans. At the end of the day, we have more similarities than differences. We all want the same thing. We all want to be happy, healthy, and loved. And there's just a bunch of shit that gets in the way of that. People let other people determine their paths for them, and that's where we're all fucking up.
Yeah, I agree.
I have a Gaia question. Thoughts on the subset of the craft Wicca? I've heard some negative and positive things, and you seem like you would be informed.
So I don't follow one religious sect in the pagan umbrella. So when we say paganism, paganism is basically anything that is not Christianity or Islam or Judaism.
Yep.
And I take from several different pagan practices. I adopt traditions from Buddhism, from Hinduism, from Celtic lore, from Wicca, from Egyptian mythology. I mean, there's different things that resonate with me from all of these different traditions and different cultures. So I'm eclectic. So I don't claim the label Wiccan. But I've done a lot of research. I don't claim to be an expert. I'm very much about intuitive practice. Yeah, what feels right for you. I don't say you have to burn this color candle for this kind of spell, or you have to use this herb. If it's something that resonates with you, that's what you use. You don't need candles or herbs. All you need is you and your intent. But tools are nice. Tools are fun. If it's something that you feel like you want or need, they're focal points. They're just tools, just like the tarot cards. My tarot cards don't have any special magic. They're ink and paper, but they're a tool. And they basically they're affirmations of things that you already fucking know. So
what is the difference between Wicca and Wiccan? Is there a difference, or is that just...
No, if you practice Wicca, you're called a Wiccan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I've heard both words said before multiple times, so I was just curious on that one.
I'm a heavy Wiccan lean with some agnostic spiritual practices. I would say I definitely more Wicca though, for sure.
Man's an interdimensional traveler.
Who?
Me. Oh. I'm an interdimensional traveler.
I think we all are.
I'm an interdimensional entity.
Emily says, I'm eating this up. I found my path in a Judeo-Christian fed version of my own pagan practice. Lilith and Mary Magdalene, yes, are my patrons. So your intuitive guidance is such a breath of fresh air. Aw, thank you.
That's interesting.
Thank you. Mary Magdalene was demonized by the Christian religion. Demonized.
I don't know anything about her, but I've heard that name before, and I know like multiple like songs and things that have mentioned you know, that name.
Wicca is the practice of nature as a force of belief rather than a god. So Wicca, you follow the alignments of the planets, nature, moon phases, and then you also commune with the dead. It's much more of a spiritual practice. Wicca follows more or less along the lines of nature and the elements. And what you give is what you receive, and it's all about the movement of energy. There's really no actual god in the Wicca format. But because I do have beliefs in some deities, I can't say I'm totally Wiccan either. That to answer Dark Shady's question.
Wicca was started by Gerald Gardner. And while Gerald Gardner and Aleister Crowley, and I'm sure you guys have heard that name, they were the front runners in actually legalizing witchcraft and these kind of practices because they were illegal. I mean, y'all know people were killed for these beliefs. And they were at the forefront, actually, Gerald Gardner in the 1950s. I don't remember exactly what year, but 1950s. He is the one that created Wicca and brought it into the mainstream. And Wicca is the fastest growing religious organized religion right now, because people are leaving the church in droves and they're trying to find something else.
Yeah, and also
So,
what I connected with Wicca was the way they treated women. It was totally different than like women
are revered.
Women are revered. We're considered life itself. We are the fountain of life. And we are supposed to be like literally respected in our cycle, even during periods of like high blood moon phases. Like you are at your most sensitive and you are at your most powerful. So the beliefs and even just your fertility phase is totally different. It's not something to be demonized. It's actually something that's very pure and powerful. And it's a very matriarchal religion as well. It's not based off the male. While there is male power in it, yes, but the female tends to also be like a power voice in a coven and like an actual like figure rather than
it's balanced.
It's funny you should say that, Emily, because I genuinely believe that a lot of people around the world, when they are praying or meditating or in some sort of form of like physical prayer with movements and things like that, what they're doing is they are actually increasing their DMT production in their brain from doing these activities, and because it's giving them that spiritual experience from the chemicals that their brain is making, that is what is enticing them to feel like they are connected to a greater power through their religion, even though that's not necessarily what is like doing that. It's just drugs in your brain. But you know, I genuinely believe that, you know, that's a real thing, you know, and that is why some people believe so heavily, because they feel the spiritual connection to the universe, but it's disguised as something else. But definitely, you know, the DMT has been referred to as, you know, the God molecule, the God particle. It is definitely like the key to the doors of perception, and we are, and it's an illegal drug, and we are all holders. You know, we are all carrying at all times, because our brains make it. Stone Ape theory. I genuinely believe in the Stone Ape theory. I've spoken about on the podcast quite a few times, actually.
That's been covered a lot.
How I genuinely believe that is how our brains out evolved our bodies. You know, why is that funny? Is it?
You said I'm foaming at the mouth.
I'm sorry, I'm reading Emily's comments. She's like, this podcast has me foaming at the mouth. I'm obsessed. She's rabid.
Yeah, is this your first ever International Degenerates? We have we hit some good topics.
Yeah. It's crazy how fast it went. I actually am enjoying this too.
Yeah, it's actually almost time for the tinfoil segment.
Yeah, we're almost there. I mean, it's arguably so. I mean,
do you guys have anything to add with the third eye, the pineal gland, and its you know, links to spirituality and things like that?
Meditation's different for everybody. Some people are very lucid and some people are very like introspective. I'm a very lucid meditator. I can actually like leave my body completely. But like as I said, like I practice very privately. I don't really advertise stuff like that because it's I heard it's obscene when you say those things.
So I don't do a lot of meditative practice because, like I said, I have made it to where everything that I do on the daily is part of my practice. Like even the most mundane things, in my mind, I think of it as something that's just, it can either be a positive or a negative, and there's always a lesson. There's always something to learn from everything and from everyone. And so I guess you could say that I'm kind of in a constant state of meditation, but very much awake and not like, but I do have my moments. Like just a few days ago, sometimes I just feel like I need a little something more, and I have a cottonwood tree in my front yard. And I got out of my van and I saw this tree, and it seriously felt like something in the universe or whatever chemicals in my brain cap were saying, you need to go sit by this tree. And I was like, I don't wanna, I was busy. I had shit to do, but I did. I went and sat by the tree and just kind of leaned my back against it and sat on the ground and I took my shoes off and put my feet on the ground. And there are positive ions that come up from the ground and connect with your body and give you this sense of joy and happiness. It may not be something spiritual in the universe, but these energy exchanges are real, and they really do have an effect on you on a physical level.
I walk barefoot on the grass outside almost every day if it's dry, because our bodies have an electromagnetic field, and when we wear shoes, that stops our electromagnetic field from actually like connecting with the earth, and it cuts us off. So like there's a lot of research that suggests it's very beneficial for you to walk barefoot on the ground, you know, not on brick. It's called earthing. Not on brick or tarmac. You know, you want to be on like ground, on dirt or grass, or you know, the actual world itself. But yeah, it actually makes perfect sense, Gaia, that your higher vibration, in my opinion, your meditation sounds non-traditional, especially the tree. Like that intense connection between the tree and fungal paths and our energy. Real, yes, you said it. Holy fuck, boys. Yo, what's up, Ghosty?
He's like, this is
so I've had some very interesting meditation experiences where I've like almost astral projected, like where I've had to like stop myself from going any further because I've like not had the you know, the time or willingness to actually see what's further along. But you know, I've had some very you know, Sage, who we went to Seven Sisters with, I've sat with him and we've done breathing exercises before, which also put me in a similar state. And there's definitely something there with that, you know. There's definitely, your body knows that you're doing that when you do it, you know. And it's like, something that's definitely been lost in modern culture and society, you know.
Literally like a week ago, I got out of the car going to the gym and I felt myself leave my body. Like literally, like consciousness and all got pulled, and then I got sucked back in. And I was like, whoa, it's definitely harvest season. The veil is thin, baby, and I feel it. Like, just like one of those things, dude, you know. You just kind of like, I was driving home and I seen like 5 figures, 6 figures. I was like, damn, I can't wait till Halloween's over. This is banding.
That is not one of my gifts. I don't have that gift, but my husband does. He's a channeler. So he doesn't practice anymore because it scared the shit out of him.
I have definitely been careful with my induced experiences since I had a very powerful experience when I was 21, and I've always been very almost scared to you know, like go past that point where I got to that one time, because you know, it was a lot of unexplainable things that I was experiencing, you know, but it all made a lot of sense, and it can be pretty scary, but there's definitely unanswered questions, and I feel like I was knocking on the door, and you know, I feel like I yeah.
I don't want to see the door. Don't open the door.
No, I should have. I should have opened the door, but I was just knocking on it, you know.
You still can. You still can.
Oh, I still can. I know I can. I just the time will be there at some point, you know.
That's the hard thing about it. And you know, you guys mentioned the pineal gland. I think a lot of especially like diet and things that we're exposed to, pollutions and things, I honestly believe that our pineal glands have been suppressed. Like, we're not able to
That's why
access...
I don't drink the tap water, and I haven't done for almost 10 years.
Right.
But a lot of people think that I'm like nuts for believing in that conspiracy theory, you know, that they put the fluoride in the water to calcify certain parts of our brain, to stop our brain from producing certain chemicals, to stop us from being able to connect to each other and the universe, and have aspirations and dreams, and be able to
look up the fluoride experiments in Nazi Germany.
Oh, I know all about it.
They learned how to do that.
I know all about it
back then.
Yeah. Yeah, just like that, Ghosty, actually. Just like that.
Fucking Alex Jones. That dude was a
How's your
wacko.
phone, Beauty?
Oh, sorry. I have a client messaging me. It's for my business.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, it's just if it's about money, I gotta kind of answer it. I apologize.
Got thee.
I did a. I'm fine. I'm manifesting all the money my way, bro, and it's just like, I'm not complaining. If someone wants to give me money, I'm definitely accepting that energy, and I'm going down that rabbit hole.
But
Yeah, for
and
sure.
It can be hard sometimes. It can be hard because like we live in a society that if you try to be open about these things and the things that you've done and the experiences that we've had, they're gonna put you away in a straitjacket. Like, because they don't want people to believe that they have this kind of energy or power and the ability to manifest things. They don't want people with open minds and open third eyes. They don't want that. Because then they would have no control. You can't control a bunch of awakened people.
Have you noticed that they've taken that word and spun it as well because they didn't want people using it? So now you know, to be woke means that you're like, you know, completely left wing or you know a loopy lefty or whatever. But you know, the reason why the mainstream media has done that is it's a psyop. It's to make people scared of being labeled as
being awoke,
of being woke, when actually, you know, 5 years ago being woke was the best thing you could be, because it means you had you'd even become spiritually awakened, or you know, emotionally awakened, or you know, you'd overcome some form of like oppression mentally from the powers that be. You know, that's what it used to mean. Now it means
they don't
that
want us to do that.
you're a loopy lefty. But yeah, so
right. Yeah, it's terrible.
Dog inside on kick.
politics and media in general takes labels and words and slowly changes the definitions. Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm a proud Wokey. If I'm saying that right. Yes, go,
I gotta
mommy.
stop pressing this. I have so many stick toys I play with.
We are. It's time for our tinfoil, guys, because now we've begun talking about this. They're gonna start listening, so we have to block the signals.
Oh look!
Oh,
she
you
has
guys are
one
ready.
Too.
You guys are ready.
She's already prepared.
I have
Mine just sits on top.
I literally have to construct mine. I have to construct mine.
My tinfoil hat has been with me since the first episode.
I made this one since the first time I was supposed to be on the podcast, and I've been trying to keep it safe so it doesn't get crushed.
Mine gets wrecked every week. I have to make a new one because they always get wrecked.
It's okay, Cap. You serve the purpose of showing everybody how to make a appropriate hat for the for science.
Yeah, this is how you make a tinfoil hat, guys. To properly block the brain signal reading waves.
We're gonna give ourselves Alzheimer's wearing these hats.
Well, that's only if you cook. I mean, if you put your head in the oven, if you put your head in the oven whilst it's wrapped in tinfoil, you're probably gonna get Alzheimer's. So yeah, keep that in mind, guys. Not a doctor.
This hat looks different every episode too. It's great.
Okay.
He looks like a little gnome.
I got like a little elf hat here.
Okay, I'm ready. Now they can't listen.
No, they can't. They can't hear us anymore.
Okay, I have a question for you, Gaia.
Yes.
What conspiracy theories do you believe in, and why?
Oh God. Okay. So the biggest and the craziest one, I don't know that I can't say that I believe in it, but I always say that anything is possible. I don't write anything off. Possibilities are endless. So there is a conspiracy that humans are an experiment between extraterrestrials and primates here on this planet.
Okay.
That we are a product of alien DNA blended with primates here. I don't know that I believe in it, but doing some research and like seeing different points of views about it, I could see how that could possibly be a thing. Because to believe in the vastness of space and all the billions of galaxies and all the billions of planets inside of every galaxy, to believe that we are the only planet that has life, that has intelligent life, is complete arrogance. So I think anything is possible. I've also looked into the Atlantean theory and like the myths and lore of Lemuria and the lost cities and the technology that was lost. And throughout our history, all the Alexandrian library, for example, we don't know what we lost there. So much. Like annals and scrolls and histories and things that they didn't want people knowing.
True.
So I believe that anything is possible. I believe that's absolutely, it's something that could be. Like if you read it, look into Egyptian lore and myths, they and just things that human beings most likely couldn't do. The way our technology has skyrocketed in such a short time, there's got to be something. And even our government has even admitted that there's possibly other life. Like, I don't know. That's something that I've been looking into and something that I've been like, that's caught my attention and is interesting to me.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting theory. I mean, I genuinely believe that our galaxy was changed and manipulated by some all-powerful alien being with interplanetary capabilities and supreme knowledge and renewable energy and everything. I think that if that was me, if I had like completed the universe essentially, and I had all this technology and unlimited knowledge and power and time to do whatever I wanted, the only thing left to do would be to go around the universe and create new galaxy, make new galaxies that could eventually like sustain life on at least one of the planets, So there's a lot of things about the moon. There's a lot of things about the way our galaxy is that like it just looks constructed. It looks to me like it was built by someone, and the moon is what convinced me more so than anything, because the moon is like the perfectly 1/6 the size of the Earth. When it lines up with the sun in front of our planet, it blocks out the sun completely to defend the planet from like solar attacks essentially. Also, like the moon is made of weird stuff that it shouldn't be made of, and it's also hollow, and that's kind of like, people argue that it's not hollow, but NASA shot 2 rockets into it in the 80s and it rung like a gong for like days. So like, the evidence is there that suggests that it is hollow. Also, every crater on the moon is the same depth, no matter how wide it is. There's a lot of things about the moon that like tell me that it was built for a purpose, and there's also things that suggest that it could be made out of the waste that it took to make our planet be able to sustain biological life, if the theory that I'm talking about is viable. But there's just
one I haven't heard yet.
Yeah, that's genuinely what I believe. And then I also have this theory. I don't know if I believe in this theory or not, but I think that there are 2 different types of aliens that walk among us. The Greys, which are like the little green men, little grey men from Mars with the big eyes and stuff, and then reptilians, which are literally like lizard people. And I think they've been in like this intergalactic war for millions of years. And the reptilians like want to enslave every intelligent species in the universe and have like all power over them. And the Greys want to like enlighten all of the intelligent life.
The Anunnaki, right? Is that what you mean?
The Anunnaki. Some people believe that the Greys are the Anunnaki, but other people believe that that's a whole nother alien race as well. But we've spoken about the Anunnaki before on the podcast. But yeah, just some food for thought. Just some of my interesting thoughts on like aliens and the possibility of how our planet came to be. What it's made of, the way it sits so perfectly away from the sun, and where we are in our galaxy and stuff. I'm not saying none of that could have happened naturally with the amount of solar systems that there are in existence, but it looks designed to me. You know, even though I know that there is a possibility that all of that could have come from, you know, the Big Bang and all, or whatever other theory you may want to believe in that started the universe. It just looks too designed. There's too many things that I've learned over the years that have just been like, that can't be a coincidence, you know, like.
I mean, it's viable. It's a valid theory. And that's what I said earlier, anything is possible. I truly mean that. Like, I don't discount anything. If we don't have proof of it being true or not true, then it's a possibility.
Some people think that the all the celebrities and you know, powerful people in the world have been replaced by reptilians in skin suits and things like shapeshifters, you know, this kind of thing. And something that I brought up a couple of podcasts ago, like 300 people was in Denver airport. Like, there's more than 300 people with eyewitness testimony that Justin Bieber literally turned into a lizard person in front of all of these people, and his security guards like jumped on him and tried to like cover him up and everything after this happened, and then everyone's phone in the airport got completely bricked and wiped.
What?
Yeah, so there's hundreds of people that are saying that Justin Bieber turned into a lizard person in the middle of the airport, but all of these people's phones got wiped, and there's obviously like no footage or photographic evidence, but there's eyewitness testimony from hundreds of people saying that they saw this happen. So it's like, you know, you've got to question something sometimes, you know, like. Then there's like the theory that they clone celebrities, you know, they replace celebrities with clones, and you know, have you know, the elite have them do their bidding to, you know, control the masses and influence people, and push their agendas and things like that.
You don't know, my boys told me about BTS because they believe a lot of that.
They're lizard people, shape-shifting lizard people.
No, they said the opposite. They said because they believe that a lot of, you know, they're like a lot of these celebrities and a lot of these people, they can't be human, you know, there's something wrong with them. And like, they don't necessarily listen to BTS or like follow them like I do, but they've watched them enough to see their humanitarian efforts and how good they are. And they are genuinely decent people, and they are all about doing good in the world and bringing positive to the people. And my boys are like, they've been sent here to fight the lizard people. They're like these beings that have been sent down to counter all the bad shit. And the more people adore them and go to their concerts and buy their music, they get more powerful, so they can do more good in the world. We're down. Mm-hmm. but yeah, no, that's a pretty common theory. The reptilians and the greys, and I've looked into that a little bit too.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people that say they was abducted by aliens say that they was abducted by the Greys. You know, they give the same description of the Grey aliens. People that have had encounters with reptilians have said that they tried to kill them. You know, that was once they were discovered. You know, the reptilians tried to kill them. So it's kind of like. But there's so many people that have been like taken or, you know, abducted with very similar stories. You know,
I've not been abducted, but I've seen things.
The butt stuff sounds way more fun.
Oddly enough, I was actually watching a TV show called Resident Alien recently. It's a really good TV show. It's about like an alien that crash lands to the planet, and he has to like hide out in this little town in America, and he's he like can't go home because his ship's fucked up, and he like shapeshifts into a person, and he starts being like the doctor for the town. It's quite an interesting series, but it's very good. You've seen it, Godspeed, yeah. And in one of the scenes, he's like, he reveals himself to one of the humans, and they're like, "Oh no, like stay away from my butt, like please don't probe me." And he's like, "What? No, that's not us. That's the Greys that are into the butt stuff." But yeah, it's just funny. Great TV show. Definitely recommend Resident Alien. Like the Trendo show for Star Wars.
Listen, we've seen, me and my family, my husband and my kids, we've seen some shit that can't be, there's no explanation.
UFO sighting kind of stuff, or like...
Yes. And, oh my God.
Almost gone.
Y'all are gonna think I'm crazy. It's a good thing I have this
He's like,
tinfoil
get
hat
rid
on.
of him!
Okay, so the most, I've seen lots of things that could be UFOs or unidentified, whatever weird shit that I'd never seen before. But the one that stands out in my mind, growing up out in the woods, like where there's no light pollution and there's no, like, there's nothing out there except woods. My dad used to like to go for rides back where he grew up, which was back in the middle of Mark Twain Forest on gravel roads that went through over the tops of hills and through valleys. We would just go for this ride out at night in the woods. Well, one night there's nothing for miles. There's no towns, there's no houses, there's nothing for miles. Well, we were out on this back road and we saw lights to the left of the road that we were driving on. And so the road was up on a ridge top and the side went way down. So the treetops were like eye level with us, right? And right above the trees, there was a round craft of some kind. And we could smell burning leaves, right? So it was sitting right above the trees. And there were lights they weren't spinning, but they were flashing in a round sequence around the bottom of it. And we could see blue thrusters at the bottom that was hitting the trees. And that's how we were smelling the leaves. So it was me, my husband, my mom and my dad, and my two sisters. All of us saw it. And my dad stopped because he was like, what the fuck is that? And my mom starts freaking out. She's like, oh my God, keep driving. Don't stop. We don't know what that is. Well, whenever he stopped, he turned off the headlights so we could see it. And like, he didn't, whatever it was, he's like, I don't want him to see me. I'm like, my dad was silly. Anyway, we were watching it and we're just like mesmerized because our brains couldn't comprehend what the fuck we were seeing because it didn't look like anything we'd ever seen before. Well, when he turned off the headlights, it zipped off and was gone, like flashed and was gone. We have no idea. To this day, no idea what the fuck it was. But it was out in the middle of nowhere. And then another thing was just, it was me and my husband and my two boys. And we were driving home on a back road that went to our house out in the woods. And we saw this thing laying in the middle of the road. And I swear to you, I'm telling you the truth. It's because we were so fucking scared. We had no idea. It was this giant thing curled up in the middle of the road. When our headlights hit it, we're like, what the fuck is that? We stopped. We were driving our van. We stopped, headlights shining on it, and it looked like a massive dog laying in the middle of the road. And then it stood up.
Sassy.
On all fours. It stood up on its back legs, and it still looked like a dog, right? But not like a regular dog. The only thing that came to mind was fucking werewolf. It was mangy. It had a snub nose and little ears, but had long human-like arms and like the bent, funky legs in the back. Stood up, looked at us, and walked off the road. And all of us were like looking at each other like we didn't just see that.
You saw a lichen? The fuck?
Yes. Chupacabra.
That's the only thing that made sense. No, Chupacabra's small. This thing was huge.
That's a lichen, bro.
Right. And my brain is like, these don't exist. What are we looking at right now? So I kept trying to go, was it a bear? No. Was it, what was it? And the only thing that came to mind was fucking werewolf. So we drove on by after it walked off the road. We drove, and then Anthony, my husband, is like, I need to go back. And I'm like, what? So he turned around and we went back to see if we could find it again. And we didn't see it. It was gone. But to this day, like, I can't, like, it was a werewolf. It looked like a werewolf. What you see in the movies and shit. It looked like a werewolf, except without the long nose. Like, it was short.
You know, like Underworld, like the Underworld movie,
mm-hmm.
where, like the vampires in Underworld, the fucking lichens that have like the giant legs and shit.
Yeah.
Hey, back in sale. Ooh. Definitely part of my teenage trauma that definitely got me into the type of women I'm into today.
Oh no, Cap, you just put yourself in a women, man.
Kate Beckinsale in like tight freaking PVC shooting off like guns at werewolves and shit. Like, come on now.
Yeah, that's like, and my husband was so fucked up by seeing that. He still to this day tries to say it was a bear. I'm like, dude, we don't, number one, we don't have like just bear here. We don't have bears. Like, and that was not a bear.
Maybe it was a really lanky bear. really lanky bear.
No way.
Everything you described is lichen. 100%.
Bears do not have long human-like arms.
No, the only other thing that it could have been was Sassy.
The Sasquatch?
Yeah, Sassy the Sasquatch. What are you talking about?
Oh no.
I'm just here in the middle of the road smoking my joint, mate. Why are you shining those lights in my eyes?
All right. Can we give Mothman credit here? Police Mothman's not getting caught.
I went back from an event once in the dead part of South Carolina by the coast. A green light kind of stayed with us in the sky for a few. Not us specifically, but almost like matching our speed. Kind of moved some relative to position and then held and just took the fuck off. Super fast, super straight, and then disappeared. We were smoking a bowl, like, what the fuck? Oh, damn. That's kind of crazy, Ghosty. I've seen lights in the sky that haven't been planes or satellites that I haven't been able to explain. But the only crazy like thing I've ever really seen in the sky was I was at Reigate Viewpoint this one time, which is like a viewpoint in South London where we used to go and smoke up. And we was all pretty blazed. And we was just chilling, and it was like a clear sky. You could see the stars, you could see the moon. The moon was super bright, and you could see the clouds. Like the moon was illuminating the clouds in the sky, and they was moving over us really fast. You could see the clouds like moving over us really fast, and there was like hardly anything in the sky. And then, like a few minutes later, we looked up, and there was something in the sky that looked like a massive whale. It was like a huge blue whale. It was like, I don't know if it was made of the clouds or if it was an actual like something in the sky, but it had the shape of a blue whale, and it was like swimming, and it was like flapping its tail, like its tail fin, and like moving through the sky. And we all looked up, and I was like, can you see that? And my friends were like, yeah, I can see that. And we was all like,
something really cool,
and none of us really knew what, but none of us was like, that's an alien spacecraft. It looked like an animal. It looked like that. It looked like that in the sky. Yeah, literally. And that was the only like real thing that I've ever seen in the sky that I've been like, what the fuck is that? And had like, you know, that's not clouds, you know, like I had to be like, that can't be like clouds, you know.
Brad, what's up?
Yeah, interesting experience that I had one time with
I've seen a lot of weird shit in my ears. Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. Yeah, that's a painting that somebody made for me. But yeah, I've seen, well, in the town that I grew up in, or the town, I didn't grow up in a town. I grew up outside of any towns, but the closest one of the farmers there that is a distant relative of mine, he actually had crop circles. And I knew this guy. We went to the same church, and like, he's not somebody, he was very down to earth, very, you know, matter of fact. And he went outside to his field, and there were crop circles in his field, and it drew like national news. Like, there were news crews out there checking it out, and he was just like, get out of here, I don't want to talk about it anymore. but yeah, he had, his entire cornfield was just laid down in these weird patterns and shapes.
Yeah, I think crop circles are definitely, like, some of them are hoaxes, but I think some of them are messages from a different.
Okay, can we? Okay, I'm just throwing this out there. Can you consider that crop circles are just alien art?
Yeah.
With no obtuse meaning. They're just like,
like, I feel
big.
like crop circles are just like the stoned alien kids that are doing the space drugs. Like, they stole Dad's spaceship, and they're like, oh, let's go vandalize planet Earth.
Let's go fuck with the humans.
There's no meaning behind it at all, and they're just doing it to do it. Like creative formations. Yeah.
Some of the patterns of crop circles do represent different things, though, and that's why it's got a lot of people stumped. Some of them are represent the planets in our solar system and things like that, like to literally like mathematical proportions, and that's why a lot of crop circle stuff is a bit like, what the hell? calling EVP once at a place called Old Gun the same night that we saw something in the bell tower where dude had done himself after the church burnt down with the choir children inside. 3:30 in the morning, like a person had been covered in black sheer scarf and then took the scarf off and the scarf held up the shape of the person.
Ow.
Whoa, that sounds crazy.
Sounds like something I would just see visually. That's my the
So
dead and me are best friends.
I've done some amateur paranormal investigating myself. My husband and I had a scary experience and I stopped doing it. I don't do it anymore.
Oh, you got out the Ouija board, did you?
No, I don't do the Ouija board. I don't do the Ouija board. Although I do have one as part of my haunt prop. I've not used it.
We are actually coming towards the end of the podcast now, so it's time to wrap up the tinfoil hat segment. I feel like we was just scratching the surface there. I feel like we was just getting into the good stuff.
We'll have to have it to be continued.
Yeah, you will definitely be one of our Where Are They Now guests. Yeah, in the future. So yeah, I'm going to remove my my signal blocker. I'm letting the signals back in now. My brain waves are readable again. And thanks for joining us. I've got some final questions to ask you.
Okay.
So, where can the people find Gaia Rain?
Oh, you can find me here on Twitch. You can find me on the Green app. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on TikTok.
I tried to tag you. I tried to tag you on Twitter earlier and I couldn't. On X.
I don't have it. I don't do Twitter. Twitter's a cesspool and I don't like it.
Oh really? Oh, I'm just I recently branched out on there and yeah, trying.
I mean, I have been considering like just throwing like some clips and stuff on there, but like I don't hang out on Twitter.
Yeah, no, it's more for updates is what I've been using it for, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's cool. So guys, make sure you go follow Gaia on all of her socials. Follow her on Twitch. Follow her on the green side. And when will your next stream be?
My next stream will be Tuesday at 4 p.m. Central.
So you can catch Gaia on Tuesday at 4 p.m. Central time.
Doing tarot readings.
Nice. That's 3 p.m. for 5 p.m. EST. Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. 10 p.m. UK time.
Yep.
Mason, I know.
Nice, thank you. And what is next for Gaia Rain?
What is next?
Yeah. What are your plans for the future of your content on your platform and?
So I'm actually in the midst of reformatting and trying to find new content for my platform. I'm gonna keep doing gaming, but I also want to do some informative, and I want to do I want to do some segments where I'm actually like talking about things and helping people, and sharing my experiences so that others that might have gone through the same things as I have in my 48 years can relate and maybe get some help and just share. I want to provide more than just gaming and fun. I want a deeper purpose, a deeper thing. Yeah. But right now it's just fun for me till I can get through my own bullshit and get through and heal from the trauma that I've experienced recently, and then I want to start helping others.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Okay,
I love
Gaia,
that.
last question. What is the biggest lesson you've learned in life?
The biggest lesson I've learned in life?
Yeah.
Is be yourself. Don't let other people tell you who to be and what to do, and don't let the opinions of others shape you. Be true to who you are. That is the biggest lesson, and it's a hard one to learn. Don't stop people pleasing. Be who you are.
Nice. That's a really good lesson. Good stuff. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Thank you so much, Gaia. Thank you for coming on. You've been an absolute pleasure to have on the poddy.
Thank you. I love you guys.
But you know, I've still got a tinfoil hat on. I don't think she's been like with it at all this whole podcast. She's been pretty away with the fairies. But yeah,
I'm always with the fairies.
We will be back next week with Dr. Dive as our special guest. So that's going to be an exciting episode. I know a lot of people have been waiting for the dive for a while. So Yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty
good episode, Gaia.
A pretty good episode next week too. Today's episode was incredible. Thank you so much, Gaia. If you guys missed any of it, it will be going up on YouTube, on the International Degenerates Podcast YouTube, which is currently pinned in the chat. Thank you everyone that attended, everyone that brought with questions, everyone who listened and enjoyed the podcast. And yeah, big shout out to the community ship. Big shout out to Gaia Rain. Big shout out to Beauty Nightmares. And we will catch you all for the next one next week, guys.
And a big shout out to Cap as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
I love you.
All right.
I love you.
Much love, everybody. Thank you, guys.
Let's see that.